welcome back to Wendy's Colouring, and today I thought I'd do a bit of a colour along in obviously the lovely new Joanna Basford's Room of Wonder. You might have noticed it popped up on my list in my colouring plans. So yeah, I thought I'd have a go for the first time in it on camera, see how it goes. Could be a total disaster, but knowing Joanna's paper, we're probably safe, aren't we? Let's be honest. It's good paper. I think it'll take quite a bit. So I'd picked out in my colouring plans a few pages. This little dressing table page. I was umming and ahhing about doing some of the wardrobe because I thought we could do that in stages, and I do like colouring clothes, I can't lie. And then the last one that I was thinking I was going to do was the little, I can't coordinate my fingers, was the little owls postage page in here. But I'll be honest, I've literally just finished working in my my vintage room page, the bathroom, and it's full of little tiny objects, and I've got to be honest, looking at all these little tiny objects on this page, I kind of can't quite face it, not at the minute. So I'd love to do the little owls, and I might do the owls later on in the month, but at the moment, yeah, my vintage room is totally to blame, and I can't face doing all of those little tiny objects because I've just done a lot of little tiny objects. So I'm thinking this is quite a nice compromise page, that it's got some little bits and pieces on the dresser, hasn't it? It's not too bad. Some little beads, little light sauce as well, which obviously changes things, and then obviously quite a bit of kind of border and bits and pieces like that on it, which does interest me as an image, and my dressing table is very similar to this anyway. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to have a go at this. And in terms of what I'm going to use, I did think, because I've just, try not to hit the camera as I open this, I did think I'm probably going to do a bit of Albert Dürer, because I'm curious to see how well this paper will hold up to watercolour pencil. I'm guessing it'll be okay. I think in this case I've also got further down a little bit of a mix of other bits and pieces that I might just use as well. So I've got a few of my old Inktense in here. I've got some, what are these things called? I always forget. Derwent Aquatones. They're not the best, but I've got those in here, and some Derwent watercolour pencils, which are definitely not my favourite, hence why I only have 12. But yeah, I might use some of these, and I've also recently got, that'll be popping up on a haul soon, these little set of 12 aquarelles, which I've already, as you can see, been sharpening them and using them quite a bit. So yeah, I've got those little ones as well, but only in very basic colours, my aquarelles. So any of these will pop up. I would imagine that in the main I'll probably stay in Albert Dürer's, because they have got the biggest colour palette in those, so that makes sense. I'm going to put that there so I can reach them if I need them. So yeah, I'm going to shove that over to the side, and then I just need to decide on a bit of colour palette really. I've got to be honest, I'm in the mood for doing the flowers, but I'm not going to. I'm going to try and do some of the dressing table, and I'm not sure what we're going to do about this on the floor. It almost looks like it's got a patterned carpet or something going on. Is that a little door there as well? I think it is, isn't it? I think it's a little door behind the dressing table. Is that the door to the next room? Because I don't think that key's going to fit in that door. Who knows? But yeah, there's a few different bits and pieces in here that hopefully will encounter together. So I'm thinking I'm going to break with tradition, and my dressing table is not going to be wood colour, because I've done quite a lot of wood colour in Vintage My Room already. So I fancy doing something a bit brighter and more modern in this one, rather than going retro like I have been. So yes, what colour scheme? I'm half thinking I quite fancy a kind of tealy colour, so that then when I come to do the flowers I can maybe do pinks there. So what have I got in that colour palette? Let's have a look. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to pick these ones out, which obviously are my Albert Dürer's. I'm going to need my glasses before I can read what they are though, because the silver that reflects on these is shocking. And handily my camera is not focusing on it, it's not helping. I'll just read it myself. 154 for light cobalt turquoise, and cobalt green 156. It's not focusing at all today, is it? Hello camera, wake up. No, it's not going to bother, sorry. Cobalt turquoise 153, and then the super dark one, hello turquoise 155. I don't know if that's how we pronounce it, but I've picked those ones out, I think, for a starting point. And I've got my faithful Arteza. It's the small one that you've seen me use a lot if you watched any of the Rita Berman ones, although it's already leaking, and my watercolour hanky, just to get the excess off. So I've got that to hand as well. I don't think any of these are going to be appropriate because they are not the right colour, are they? What's that one? Ooh, don't drop it. That would be a nightmare. Blue permanent. I think that's going to be too dark. Yeah, I think they're out. I think we're just going to stick with these for my actual dressing table. So I'll bring you down a little bit. I'll try and use both hands, otherwise it falls off sometimes though. So yeah, we'll go down. There we go. Okay, so where to start? So we've obviously got a bit of a light source there that might be kind of hitting on the top of the dressing table here. So I'm going to have it the darkest underneath, and you're kind of seeing a bit of the side panel dirt down there. Kind of has that kind of quilted look to it actually. So we're going to go in with the darkest, I think, in here, and start building a bit of colour in these little diamond shapes. Gosh, it feels quite smooth, this paper, compared to what I've just been working on. But still quite nice. I'm hoping I don't regret wetting this page shortly, but we'll see. We shall see in a sec, because I'm going to wet a bit of this and see. You got this book by now? Probably most people have, I think. I think it's probably been fairly popular. I know obviously I've got the UK version, being in the UK, but yeah, I've read a few bits and pieces that the paper is not so great in the American version, which is clearly not ideal, not ideal at all. Because the paper in the Joanna Basford's things are one of the things she's famous for, isn't it? So it does seem a bit strange that they've played about with that issue. I've no doubt there'll be some manufacturing reason why. These things always are, aren't they? This probably wasn't the best colour to see whether it's going to go through or not, because this is quite a pigmented little colour, so we shall see whether I've just ruined my brand new book. Don't know if you don't try, do you? My dog is asleep on the floor next to me. She may at some point decide, no, you're talking to yourself, I'm off, open the door. We shall see. Okay, how have we gone through? Where was it? Oh no. No sign at all, so that's looking good. So I think I'm fairly safe if the dark colour didn't go through. Then I can't see that the rest will. We should be safe. Maybe do it a bit more light, couldn't we? That's a bit better. Okay, that needs a sharpen. So it probably would have been best just to let this dry a little bit, but because the surface is a little bit damp, obviously your pencil will be a little bit softer as it starts to not fully dissolve, because there's not enough water to do that, but it does just soften it a little bit, and Obviously I want the little lines to just go a bit more towards blue, like it's a nice quilted little surface in there. And then maybe a dark grey. Oh, hitting my light. What have we got? Alright, do. So this one is 2, 3, 4 cold grey. Oh, I can't read around the room. This is V5. It's that one. Whatever V is. I think it's 5. Just want to darken the back a little bit because it's going to be in shadow back there. Underneath, and obviously quite a way away from the light, so there we go. I think that'll do. Okay, so we've got a nice little start, and obviously I don't want the rest of the dressing table to be that dark, so I've got panels going on here that I do need to think about, but I think we'll start off with the lightest colour, just get a base of that on the woodwork. Here I might want a bit of another colour though, so I need to be careful around there that I don't get the colour too dark, because obviously we've got a light source going on over there. Just going to put just going to put quite a light, excuse me, I'm going to have to turn it. My book will be back and forth quite a while, I suspect. But yeah, just going to put quite a light coating of this palest one, light cobalt turquoise, 154. Even here, where I'm not totally sure what I'm doing yet there. Dog's decided she's not happy on a mat, and now she's going underneath my desk, right where my legs are. It's not annoying at all. Yeah, it's her favourite spot underneath the desk, just where my legs are. She used to have a mat under there, because I know she likes it, and I don't like hearing her sat on the floor on the hard wood, because she's obviously not comfy, so she keeps getting up, moving. Just, yeah, obviously having a bit of leg room. I'm quite tall, so kind of need leg space. It's kind of quite important. And I have a set of drawers under the other side of my desk, so this is the only place I can put my legs under the desk. So yeah, leg space, who needs that? Where else will this colour be? I think on this little side panel we could do with that. Get rid of the bits. And that must have been from when I was sharpening. Oh, snappage. How annoying. Not quite sure why that's done. I had one of these that I've had an issue with the last couple of days actually. I'm a bit disappointed with it because, where is it? Yeah, I haven't used these a huge amount. And look, just started using that one and it just kept snapping. I'm going to have to get a replacement for that. What is it? Sky Blue 146. But yeah, I hardly used it. It just snap, 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 snap. And I just stupidly started the background with it on my other page that I've been working on. So I was like, oh. At one point I thought it's just not going to sharpen. It's not going to sharpen. And now I'm going to have to stop mid-go with this page. I'm hoping this one's not going to start doing it now. No. Do I want the legs the same colour? I don't know. I think what I'll do is I'll just get this one activated first so it can be drying. I'm definitely going to add more onto it. I just quite like having a nice light base first to work onto. Got my window open. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but the ice cream man is coming round where I live. It is literally really grey, chucking it down with rain. It's quite cold because it's the day after. Oh, you will be able to hear him now. And literally, who is running out for an ice cream? It's cold, wet, windy, very miserable looking. He's going to park outside my house now because he always does. And normally, he then decides to make a phone call. So we might have the joys of listening to his phone call in a second. Sorry. I'm guessing it's not his business, that he just must work for someone because he makes no attempt to wait for you if you actually did want to an ice cream. Just drives off. It's quite funny, really. Okay, so the panels. We've got two different sections. I think we're going to do the blue inside the panels, definitely. But I've gone to the slightly darker one, so which one is this? Cobalt green 156. Oh, he's going. He's giving up defeat. Surprisingly, no one wanted an ice cream. Can't think why that might be. But yeah, in summer, if you actually want one, he's literally there for like 20 seconds. You couldn't have even found your purse, let alone got out the house and got there. I have no clue how they make any money at all, because they're just not there long enough to. Bit of a strange dressing table colour choice, isn't it? But be boring if we all had the same. Probably if you've watched me a few times, you'll know I do like a bit of colour. I don't like it looking miserable. Really not been doing anything exciting. Back to work. That's what I've been doing mainly. Being at work. Trying to get all your jobs done in between being at work. And my week off mainly consisted of doing exciting jobs like going to the dentist, having a flu jab, having your COVID jab. I love that, exciting things like that. So that, yeah, because trying to get any of those things done when you're actually back at work is impossible. Because obviously you can't go in the day, so. And my dentist has gone part-time. So he's even harder to actually get an appointment to see. So you have to work ahead, get an appointment ages before, otherwise you ain't getting one. Apologies, you can hear the ice cream man again. Don't know why we can hear him again. But yeah, the joy of ice cream, and you probably can't hear it on the recording, and I sound like I'm a nutter now. Too much water on my brush. That's the only thing I have noticed about this Arteza brush. Most of the time it is my most total favourite brush, but I've noticed as you've used it a bit more, and when they start to get a little bit worn, I'm guessing it's the valve thing. I think it has like a spongy thing in it, doesn't it? It's in here. It just occasionally does release just a bit more than you want. But it's not one of those that you have to keep pressing it, because that I find a bit annoying as well. But yeah, this is my second one of these. But yeah, I just quite like the nibs on them. It's quite a fine little pointy nib, and like I say, I have used this one quite a bit now, and it's still quite a nice nib on it. Although again, that was a bit more water than I wanted. Right, I need to be careful I don't get this on the key, because I am stupid enough to do it, and this is quite a dark colour. But yeah, we're into the joys of parents' evening, open evening, awards evenings, staying late at school. Which, as you know, I get to school pretty early, which means it's the time of year where I'm doing 12 hours at school, which is not my idea of a fun time. But needs must. We're on online parents' evenings still. I can't decide what I think about online parents' evenings. Do parents prefer them? Do they not? Do they hate them? I don't know. I'm not on long enough to figure out whether they prefer. I prefer it when I can actually show what they've done in real life with doing a practical subject. But I think for lots of subjects it's a lot easier, isn't it, online? Don't know, not decided what I think. It does mean I have to use my school computer, and my school computer is rubbish. It is from the Arc and loses its signal all the time. And it's only fortunate that I'm not a complete idiot with computers, but I can normally figure out what is up with it this time. Normally the lead from the camera, because our computers are that old, they do not have any cameras, so they have to bring us a camera for an evening, for parents' evening. But then the USB ports on them are so old, they just quite regularly fail. You have to keep swapping which port you're using, which is not what you want when you're in the middle of a parents' evening talking to a parent. Then it just cuts off, or you lose the sound, or yeah. It's just extra stress. They could do without. Right, I'm praying we didn't want that dark, because that's nearer the light, isn't it? I'm going to take a little bit of that off, if it will. That's better. Okay, so we've got, oh, and I've got that panel in there. I always forget to mute the sound on my computer, sorry. Joy of email. But yeah, we had bonfire night yesterday. My husband and I were boring. We went nowhere. But a lot of people where I live clearly had bought fireworks. It was, yeah, obviously I have a little dog. Fortunately she's pretty good with fireworks. She's not too fussed. I know a lot of dogs really get stressed with it, don't they? But fortunately she's pretty good. But they were so loud here. It was just all the time, particularly around 7 o'clock for a few hours. It was really noisy. Right, I think I'm going to go darker on these little panels that are in between, so it kind of matches a little bit to this kind of quilting effect that I've got there, but this is a very dark colour, so I'm not going to put very much on. Just see how it spreads. But yeah, there were so many. Didn't need to go out last night. Literally just stood in my conservatory. I could see the ones in the houses near me just going off everywhere. Considering everyone's broke, we still seem to be able to explode some money in the sky. I don't know, I thought there'd be less this year, but clearly not. Right, just see how that's going to dissolve. Sorry, I'm having to concentrate because this is a tiny little space for a brush. Perhaps watercolour was not the best idea for this little spaces, but it's not too bad. This one's going to be tricky, this middle one, that little side bit is very small. This is not the time that I want this brush to do a blob of water. I'm trying to keep it a little bit drier. Yeah, it's this one I'm not looking forward to. It's tiny. Gonna have to turn you sideways, sorry. Absolutely no way I'm going to be able to go down there without. Yeah, I might need to go to a thinner brush, I think. I'm too chickened. Oh, dog, sorry. Sorry, Moles. Forgotten you were under the... Well, that's moved her, because she's like, thanks, Mum. Just kicked me with the bum. Oops. Oh, at least the floor's nice and warm. She's gone on a mat huffing now. Right. Yeah, that is a small space. Well, that's okay, but it doesn't look much darker, does it? It's my only worry with that. Let's move that water. Alright, knock it over. Okay, so some more on this one. feels huge, this brush now. Just use that little one. Okay. Okay, so I think I want to darken those little panels. These ones will probably be dry enough. Just a little bit more. I'm not going to wet this bit, I'm just literally going to keep using them dry. I'll have to sharpen pencil before I go down between that bit. That is just so thin, that little panel. Sorry for the turning, I just can't see in the angle, but I'll turn it. Because my fat hand is in the way otherwise. There we go. Okay, so I want the medium again. I think I'm just going to put a little bit of shading underneath the worktop bit of it. So under here would obviously sit a bit proud. So there'd be a bit of shadow under here. Brush. And then the same on the worktop. Obviously we've got light source going down here, so these things I'm going to cast a bit of shadow down here. softening the edge of the darkness. And then going to go to the very dark, the 155 Helio Turquoise. What do I think? Oh, we've got this little bit of the frame that the mirror sits in as well. Maybe that could do with just a little bit of something. What do I think? I think I want it dark under here. Still feels a bit pale down here in some of these sections, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more colour. Okay, and a bit of yellow, I think, for the light. Which one? Let's have a look. Yellow glaze. What do is. So I picked out a few yellows. Well, yellows, creams. So I've got cream 102, I've got light cad yellow 105, and I've got light yellow glaze 104. And I think I'm going to start with the light yellow glaze because it's quite a pale, well they're all quite pale yellows, but I think that one might be a bit too pale. I'm going to start with this one just to start having a think about where I want the light sourcing to hit on this cabinet, but I want to sharpen it first. Because I think we just want a little bit of light hitting this cabinet a little bit. Probably going to hit some of these objects here, but because I'm not making any decisions about those yet, I'm not going to add it onto those yet. So I'm definitely going to hit the side of this mirror frame. I decided I'm going to do this mirror frame a different colour. Could well be obviously this is a curved form, so it's not going to go past the halfway of the curve. That will be enough. I think. Let me have a look. Yeah, that's okay, isn't it? So we might get a little bit more along. Just on the surface. I think that will do. Might just strengthen it a little bit there on the corner. But that'll do for now. So I mainly did that with the glaze one, whichever that one was. This one, 104, light yellow glaze. Hardly used the other two. It's a start. Now, I think I'd like something to contrast in the legs. I'm wondering about doing some grey with them. Oop, hitting my light again. So I've already got one grey out that we'll use. Get a medium, a light, and a super light, I think. And I also need my white, which could be anywhere because I had it out yesterday. Is that it? Oh, there it is. So yeah, if I'm not going to drop them everywhere. Let's see what I just fished out. So I've got cold grey, is that 3? Cold grey 3, 2, 3, 2, I think that is. So these are so hard to read. Cold grey 2, 2, 3, 1. Can't read that at all. Oh yes, can. Cold grey 5 is the one we had out before. 2, I think it's 3, 4, but it could be 5, 4, 2, 5, 4, I think. And cold grey 1, 230. Karen Josh, make these easier to read. Some of them you can read quite well, but others just they reflect and you just can't see them at all. Moaning again, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to do some of these trim pieces in the grey, I think. So I'm going to start with these little leg sections. And a little bit of the darker one, I think. And then I think I'll use my white rather than rather than the light greys. This is luminance white that I'm using, but I'm really using it like a blender, really. Yeah, so I'm probably only going to use medium and dark for these little bits. Do I want this bit blue or grey? I think I'm going to stay grey. Kind of wishing I'd done it blue now. What do I think? I think I've done it now, so I'll have to live with it, won't I? Whether I like it or not. Who knows? So those are the legs of the stool. So we've got that one. And the fourth leg of the dressing.
I'm not sure I understand.
Just you don't watch. Sorry. So we've got no fourth leg for the dressing table, because those are definitely the stool legs. It should be there, shouldn't it? We should be able to see the base of it here. We are missing a leg. This is a three-legged dressing table. We've got a little tiny door, but no third leg. Yeah, don't lean heavily on this dressing table when you're getting ready, because it's going to collapse and you're going to smash the mirror. All your bottles are going everywhere because it's missing a leg. I'm not drawing the leg in, because it should be there, shouldn't it? That's where it should be, behind here. We should still see it there. Even if we wouldn't see much of it, it should be there. Oops. On the plus side, it's one less leg to cover to colour. So maybe it's a bonus. Right, so back in with the turquoise from these little decorative bits and the little feet. I don't want my white, but this is a tiny space, so I'm going to sharpen it first. What do I want that one? This is, I didn't say which one I just picked up, did I? This is 153 cobalt turquoise. Whether to do that one, I think I will. I'm thinking this little stripe here I'm going to do with a metallic, just like it's a nice little bit of trim. Bit of silver, I think. Probably not going to do that in this video though, but in the next one. Because what are we on now? We're on 50 minutes. Goodness, how is this taking me 50 minutes? Slow, sorry. Look on the bright side. If it had been 4 legs, it'd take me even longer. Okay, still not totally happy with that one. Needs a bit of a less of a highlight on it because it's further away. Okay, so we've kind of got the base of the dressing table done. Obviously I've got a bit of trim, I've got the little doorknobs still to do. I think what I'm going to do now is, as this is getting on for time a little bit, I'm going to colour the stool very similar to the colour palette and technique wise that I've just been doing. So I'll do all the woodwork and the legs for the stool, and then for the next one we'll start having a look at the mirror here at the top, some of these objects, maybe some of this baseboard behind, and start thinking about the light again on some of these objects. I'm going to do the flowers, I think, as though they are part of the frame into this scene, so this light won't necessarily hit these flowers because they're above this, but yeah, I think what I'm going to do now is carry on and finish the stool off camera because it's exactly the same as I've just been doing with the dressing table, and then the next video will start with some more of the details on this dressing table page in the lovely Rooms of Wonder by Joanna Basford. But so yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you have been, hopefully I've not bored you to death with my slow colour pencil, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.